It started in 1986. I had always wanted to work in the medical field as a nurse. So in 1986, I began working at a local hospital as a ward clerk. From 1986 to 1996, I had became a ward clerk, an EMT, took my EMT intermediate after that, chose not to test it because they had wanted to transfer me. Also went through my EMT paramedic, but I still wanted that RN. Went through the whole EMT paramedic course and missed the national exam by one question. And that was OB, which happens to be one of my weak points. And so I never went back and retested that. I remained an EMT until 1996. Well, while I was an EMT, I met my future husband at that time, and things didn't work out at the time, so I decided to move away. And then, you know, after him coming there all the time, I came back here. Then later we had our first child, and he was a preemie, and I had to stay at home with him for a year. I found a way when he was almost a year old, close to being a year old, to get back in school. I went to LPN school and was fortunate enough to not have to work at that time because my husband worked a lot. And then I still was not satisfied because I always wanted that RN so that I could do the most that I could do and be paid for it. So after I became a LPN, I still pursued a class here, class there, worked full time, and I just wasn't moving as fast as I wanted to move. After just, you know, my husband is a police officer, so police officers don't make a lot of money, and he had done throughout our whole marriage everything he could do, working all kind of off-duty jobs. He was never at home. So I told him a couple of years ago, it's my turn to help this family. So I started looking into College Network because at my local college, it was just inconvenient for me to work and leave work, go to take a class, find parking, and then come back to work, and then still have a time frame where I had to complete a test or whatever. So I researched and found College Network. From microbiology to the end, it took me about a year and a half with working full time. I had other part-time jobs in nursing at a local hospital, and also kids, grandkids that played soccer and cheerleading, and a daughter at a local university as well in college. And it worked for me very, very well. It can work for anybody. If I could, you know, this is year number 30 since I graduated high school. And I have finally, I can say, I have finished my books with College Network. There was no complaints. If I had a question, I always, you know, would call them, and very, very rarely did I have to do that. I was immediately helped on the phone. I was never transferred to anybody else, waiting on somebody to call me back to give me the answers that I needed. And I can just boast about this program because it has changed my life. It has changed my family's life. And my husband does not have to work so much anymore. And he is so proud of me. I have finished my clinical at the end. I am graduating here in just a couple of weeks. I have applied to take state boards, and I have also worked on a wound care certification. So I just would like to thank College Network for changing my life and making it so easy to finally obtain the goal that I've always dreamed of.